Hello and welcome to Lambda School's Introduction to Version Control using Git. Just as a note, if you have not watched the Introduction to the Terminal video or are unfamiliar with the terminal, please go back and watch that video now. Also, if you're on a Windows computer, make sure you follow the instructions to download and install Git for Windows. If you are on a Mac or Linux, Git is pre-installed on your computer for you. In this lesson, we will learn what version control is and how we use the program Git to achieve it. Before we learn how to use Git, we need to understand what it is and why we use it. Most of us have experience writing a text or a doc file, an essay for school, a letter, maybe even a resume. Whenever we change the file and save it, the saved file replaces the old file. Most modern word processing programs allow us to undo and revert any changes we have made while writing that file. Although this only works while the program is open. Once you close the program, all of those undo are gone. How would we go about making sure each and every version of the file is saved? The simplest way would be to save the file under a new name each time we saved. This works well, but then our computer starts to get cluttered with lots of files that we may never go and use again. Let's pause there and talk about another problem we may encounter. Let's imagine a hypothetical situation in which you're working with a partner writing an essay for a class. You're both working on the same exact essay and need to share it with each other. How would you go about doing this? There are many different systems out there to share files across the computer, Dropbox, email, etc. But what happens when you and your partner want to work on the same file simultaneously? Well, you could write two separate files and then manually put them together at the end. But you'll probably end up with a bunch of overlap and parts of the essay might not make sense. What if I told you there was a single solution to both of these problems? It's a concept referred to as version control or source control. It is a tool that keeps track of all changes made to our files and allows us to work on a project simultaneously with a team. It saves all the changes made throughout the entire history of a file without adding any extra files, so that we can essentially undo and redo any changes that we or a team member have ever made to a file. There are many different version control solutions, and if you've been around software development a while, you may have heard of some of them: TFS, SVN, Git, etc. At Lambda School, we will focus on using Git. Git was a version control system created in 2005 by Linus Torvalds. You might know him as the creator of Linux, and is the most popular version control system used by web developers. Git is a program that tracks the changes we've made to our files. It adds a secret .git file to our project, keeping track of everything that we've done. Through a process known as branching and the use of specialized Git terminal commands, we can do very powerful things with our files. The trope of the software developer working solo in their basement is long gone, and software developers worldwide work collaboratively with teams. This is especially useful if or when a situation occurs in which a new change breaks our software, and it allows us to easily revert those changes back. Git also allows an entire team to work on the same project at the same time. It will merge all of the changes made to a project together automatically, and it informs us if anything goes wrong. This is a concept known as branching. We'll get into it a bit later in the course, but for now, just know that Git allows us to essentially time travel and revert and redo changes we've made. It also lets us try out new things on our own branch while not breaking our main code base. The major features of version control may not seem very relevant to us at this time, but it is a workflow that makes developers' lives so much easier. Its benefits will become much more apparent with time. For now, this is a great time to start learning, using, and understanding version control, if only for practice. That's the intro to Git. In our next video, we'll learn how to start using Git on our projects. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.